I was on her road, yeah, and a guy in a suit come up to me outside. You know where KFC is? Outside there.
Was you begging at the time or just standing?
Like, I was standing begging, like spot begging sort of thing.
And what did he say?
He said, I can get your money quick, yeah, I can offer, yeah, look after me and I'll look after you, that's what he said.
And where did you go?
Just to an alleyway around the back. Do you know where Braventon Road is? You know where the dry cleaners is? There's a little turning down there, just down there.
And how much did he pay?
£15. I was born in Margate in Kent. I had quite a normal, like, primary school, it was quite good, had my friends and everything. I was quite happy. And then when I got a bit older, like 10 and 11, I wanted to find out about my dad. So my mum found him for me. I found him and it wasn't what I expected. I thought it was going to be great. I was going to have my dad, the happy family, and it wasn't what I wanted. He wanted my mum back and he was using me to get back on my mum, and he never really wanted me.
How did that make you feel?
Horrible, awful. I still to today.
Have you never had that relationship with him since?
No, never. And I don't think I ever will, because from that I went into looking for love in the wrong places.
Tell me more, Trace, what happened?
Even like from when I was my first boyfriend, I used to go out with the hard boys and the boys I thought was tough and like the gangster boys, do you know what I mean? Always from my first boyfriend upwards, thinking that I'm going to get love from them. And I'd sleep with someone and think that mean love, think they'd love me.
And then, Trace, how have you ended up on the streets? Like, how's that journey started? Like, what happened?
I got with a guy called Colin, like 15 years ago, an Irish guy. He was nice at first. I come to London for the day, I met him. I ended up staying up here after one day. Within a week and a half, I was smoking crack. Within a week and a half, I was smoking crack. He was smoking it, so I thought I'd try it.
And prior to this, have you ever tried crack?
No.
Have you done any drugs?
I'd done marijuana, but not to the extent. Like pills when I was a teenager, that was it really. But not to like weekend, you know, like party, weekend, whatever. But there's something about him that I just wanted to do everything that he done. I wanted to be around him all the time, so I wanted to fit in with him.
So let me get this straight. You moved to London, found a boyfriend, he was using, and then that got you using.
It did.
And what was that experience like, the first ever time you took crack?
It was great. The first time you ever take it, it was great. It was like the buzz you'd never get in your life. But then after a while, you never get that same high again. Never. You're just chasing and chasing and chasing, constantly chasing.
And then what happened? How did you move on to brown?
After about 2 years, I started taking brown. Because with the crack, I was always up and up and up, and I was always like wired. Do you know what I mean? Always like, and I was never like coming down. I couldn't sleep, and crack's a constant high. It's cocaine. It's a high. It doesn't bring you down. And then I started taking heroin. After a week and a half, I felt ill. I felt shivers. But the first time I took heroin, I was sick. I vomited. Awful, very awful. Heroin, yeah. And once I was addicted on heroin, he was manipulative and I knew I had to go out and get it. So he knew I had to go out and get money for it. So he'd use me, play with my head, like say, oh, he doesn't feel well, or oh, he can't do it today, his head's mucked up, and so I'd go out and do it.
So he'd basically make you work to make money. And what was the first ever time you worked the streets? What was that like?
First night I did that, first night I slept with someone for money,
Yeah.
First night it was with that old guy in a suit, and I couldn't get it over quick enough. All that was going through my head is hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
How did that situation arise? Where was you, or how did he approach you? What did he say?
Where was I? I was on her road, actually. I was on her road, yeah, and a guy in a suit come up to me outside. You know where KFC is? Outside there.
Was you begging at the time or just standing?
Like, I was standing begging, like spot begging sort of thing.
And what did he say?
He said, I can get your money quick, yeah, I can offer, yeah, look after me and I'll look after you, that's what he said.
And where did you go?
Just to an alleyway around the back. Do you know where Braventon Road is? You know where the dry cleaners is? There's a little turning down there, just down there.
And how much did he pay?
£15. Imagine, enough for a one-on-one, that's it.
How do you feel about that looking back?
I feel disgusted. It's horrible. It's horrible. But I'm an addict. I'm an addict.
And how often did you have to do that for, Trace? Or how many times did you do it?
I've done it about...
Or how long for a period of time?
I was begging as well, and obviously doing that as well, but I've done that about 60 times in all. A lot.
And what would you say was the worst experience you've ever had doing?
One time, I did it with a guy, and he did it with me, and then he took his money back and slapped me on the face. So I didn't get my drugs, I didn't get my money, and he got what he wanted.
Have you ever been in a position doing sex work where you felt vulnerable?
Yeah, of course, of course. There's guys that, like an Algerian guy that I felt really vulnerable with. I thought, like, every time he kept going to his pocket, I felt twitchy, like he was going to pull out something.
So was you almost, I guess, asked by your partner at the time to work the streets to feed your habit?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And then how did you end up on the streets, Trace?
Well, I went to a crack house, yeah, up near Harrow Road again. Fernhead Road, actually, to be correct. Fernhead Road down the bottom. What Colm did is Colm stole someone's drugs. My ex stole someone's drugs, left me in the house, and I got stabbed up, yeah. I had a punctured lung. I put my arm up to protect yourself, you know, as you do.
Let me go back a second, Trace. So tell me that story from the start. So you was in a house?
Yep, in a crack house, yeah.
And then what happened?
My ex Colm was there with me. He stole someone's drugs, took a dealer's drugs, yeah, went out and left me. I wasn't aware of what he did. Yeah, left me in the house by myself. The guy obviously counted what he had, and I was the only one left in the house. Yeah, the guy gave me a punctured lung.
So 1 minute, was this guy already in the house or did he knock
Yeah,
the door?
the guy was in the house, yeah.
And then, so...
It was a guy called Kendall, a dealer called Kendall, yeah.
So let me just get this straight then, Trace. You was in a house with your partner, and he'd robbed the drug dealer's drugs in the house and left the house?
Yep, and left me in a predicament. Yeah. I never knew. Colm just said to me he was going to the shop. I never knew he robbed the drugs.
And then what did the dealer do to you?
He gave me a punctured lung. I put my arm up to protect myself. I had to have an operation to save my arm. There. 140 staples in my head, fractured ankle, multiple stab wounds to my chest. And I didn't go to court because I thought I'd be called a grass.
How long ago was that?
About 2 years ago now, and I was pregnant at the time and I lost the baby. And I was taken to the Royal London Head and Chest Hospital. You know, the Royal London Hospital? I was taken there.
So did this guy kill your baby?
Yeah,
in essence?
yeah.
But your baby was pronounced dead after that incident?
Yeah, I was only 12 weeks pregnant, yeah. Yeah, he's hit my stomach with a broken leg of a chair. I tried to stop some of it with that, but...
And so how long have you been on the streets now, Trace?
4 months this time.
And what would you say is the worst experience of being on the streets currently?
I was scoring with someone up, with Smurf actually, with everyone. I was scoring with someone up by the benches, up by Domino's, you know, just... You know where Tottenham Road is, round the back, basically round the back, round there, yeah? And this dealer come round the corner, this guy owed him £40, pulled out a knife and he stabbed him and he ran away. So all of us, there was about 10 of us there waiting for our drugs. None of us got our drugs and the guy got stabbed.
How long ago was that?
About 2 weeks ago. And no one's seen the guy since, the guy that got stabbed. People have seen the guy that stabbed, because obviously he's a drug dealer, do you know what I mean? But...
And with your habit as well, Trace, what's the worst your habit's ever got to?
My habit, about 9 bags of gear a day. That's a lot, isn't it? But now I've cut down. I'm only on like 3 a day now, which is good. I've had to cut down, and you know I've done that on the streets. You know what I mean? I've slept for 2 days and railed it out, but then you can cut it down a bit. Do you know what I mean? If you sleep for a couple of days and...
At the moment in your life, Tracy, what's considered a good day?
A good day when I'm not sick. When I'm not sick.
What's considered a bad day?
If there's no dealers about. Yeah, I'm honest, innit?
What would you say is the worst memory of your life, Trace?
Worst memory of my life? My dad not loving me. Yeah.
you reckon that's affected you through your whole
Very
life?
much. Affected my whole life. Probably the reason I've become an addict. I went to the wrong person to love them, and yeah, it's affected everything. Everything.
Do you know his situation today, or where he is, or if he's about?
No. I don't think I want to go back to that, because I feel that if I could see him, he'll do it again. Do you know what I mean? And then I won't get out of this situation. Whereas now I want to get out of this situation. You understand?
When you say do it again, what?
Like, play me off and like use me and.
Is there anything that he did in particular?
No, he was just nice to me to get to my mum. He wanted to get back with my mum. So he was being nice to me just to get to my mum.
And where are you sleeping currently on the streets?
Sometimes I sleep behind McDonald's on Oxford Street, or I sleep at Crown Passage, which is just near Christie's Art Gallery.
And what would you say is the worst experience that you've had personally to yourself on the streets?
I got kicked really, really bad, beaten in my sleeping bag. Yeah. I've had a guy standing over and pissing on me.
And how much, as well, a lot of people probably would be curious, how much does the average homeless person make begging a day?
It depends where you go. Like, a lot of them go on Oxford Street and things, yeah? You can make from 100 to 1,000. Depends. There could be one rich person walks past you and gives you an envelope, do you know what I mean?
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, down Mayfair.
What's the biggest drop you've ever had?
5 grand.
5 grand?
Like, honest, isn't it?
Where was that and what happened?
Mayfair. But do you know what I did with it? I gave like about 2.5 grand out, probably more than that actually. Bought some people food and this, that and the other, and I spent about £800 off on drugs, and that's it. I paid most of it out.
Where do you think you'll be, Trace, in about 6 months' time?
Rehab. I want to be in rehab. It's not where I want to be. I want to be in rehab. Do you know what I mean?
And how old are you at the moment?
38.
And how do you see a way of getting into rehab?
You have to engage. You have to engage. You have to do things for yourself. You can't wait for people to do things for you.